From the Fox 26 studios, this is Houston's Morning Show.
When it comes to teens and monitoring what they're doing on their smartphones, there are the obvious social media apps like Instagram and Snapchat, but there are also a number of apps gaining popularity that you may not have heard of. Here with some insight is technology expert Nick Walney. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Well, I have kids who are on social media all the time, and now I'm really taking note to what you have to say because I haven't heard of them. What is one of the first ones that you are concerned about?
Well, apps like Bermuda and other live video chat apps. It's good to know that a live video chat app in general, it's like having a Skype call or a FaceTime call with a complete stranger. So rather than usual anonymous chat environments where maybe you're just, hanging out in a community, you're immediately in this really intimate situation, right? Like a full screen video call with a stranger. So what's important to know and what you want to talk to your teens about is that the user on the other side, they may not be who they say they are. Your 16-year-old might think that they're going to be talking to another 16-year-old, and then, it turns out to be someone completely different. So, yeah. So
just talk to them about this. Would you want to, I guess, almost sound like maybe have them steer clear of it, in fact?
Right. Well, yeah. Or I think, it's kind of a personal preference on the parenting, how tightly you want to police what apps your teens are using. But you do want to make sure that they're aware that, the user on the other side, like this is user-generated information in terms of their profile, so there's a good chance that it's not who they say they are.
There are also a lot of apps out there that can help you with homework. So sometimes it's hard to get a tutor, or maybe the math is over the parent's head and you're going, what do I do? There's an app for that. What is your thought about those?
Yeah, so a sample app is Socratic Math and Homework Help. There are a lot of tutoring apps like this. What you need to think about with the tutoring apps that crowdsource answers, essentially how this app works is that your teen would take a photo of perhaps a math problem, they would upload it, and then a chat room would help to answer it. So obviously in this community environment, when there's a group of users, it can be confusing because what if you get a whole lot of different answers? Where there is a positive with it is that maybe you wanted to cross-check your work. You've already done the answer and you just wanted to get some confirmation, but it's about asking what are the odds that your teen is going to use it just as that.
I'm glad you brought this one up. I had a friend who used this, got the help, thought that they were going above and beyond to make sure their homework was right, and they were all wrong. And they were horrified, and it was like $1 per answer, whatever. Not cheating, but just getting help. It didn't work out so well. So good to know. All right, what else are you concerned about?
So there is also an app called Lipsy that is out there.
I've heard of
this allows you to just get to Canvas for feedback on perhaps photos or different ideas. Almost think kind of the Reddit chat room, the anonymity, but in an app format. What I'm concerned about with this app is that it does have integrations with things like Instagram, and the problem with cyberbullying is that sometimes there begins to have a sort of bandwagoning effect. So if you have this integration where you're getting feedback from anonymous users and you are just automatically uploading your photos from Instagram into that, and it's feeding the comments through and they become Instagram comments, well, then that can kind of create a situation where you're actually getting way more feedback on a personal social channel that you didn't expect.
Yeah, and it's not healthy at all if it turns negative. We've seen that some of the worst bullying take place on just something that was put out there innocently on social media, and the next thing you know, someone's life can be turned upside down.
And it's one thing for it to happen in an anonymous chat room. It's another thing when it gets pulled in to where a lot of our teens are hanging out each and every day.
And there is a way to track what kind of apps your kids have on their phone, right? Just to make sure that you know exactly what's on there.
Right.
You need to keep an eye on it.
So just keeping an eye on it, and I think also just really having the conversation with your teens. We're never going to be able to keep up with all of the new apps. And there's TikTok, there's Twitch, there's all kinds of new stuff. But having the conversation with them about what that security looks like when they're interfacing with other people on the internet.
Nick, valuable info. We want to keep those kiddos safe.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time this morning.